The story of CM Punk, a real punk or true champion? CM Punk, a name that sparks passion, rebellion, and raw honesty. From the streets of Chicago to becoming one of WWE's most controversial and fascinating stars, Punk's journey has been far from ordinary. His rise to fame, sudden exit, and dramatic return have left fans wondering about his true legacy. Was he the hero the wrestling world needed, or a rebel who burned bridges along the way? To find out, stay with us until the end, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Philip Jack Brooks, better known as CM Punk, was born on October 26, 1978 in Chicago, Illinois, and grew up in Lockport, a suburban area with modest beginnings. His family life was far from easy. His father struggled with alcoholism, and his mother faced mental health challenges. These difficult circumstances shaped Punk's independent, rebellious nature, teaching him to rely on himself from a young age. As a child, Punk loved comic books and punk rock music, which played a big part in shaping who he was. However, these hobbies made him feel like an outsider because they were different from what most people liked. This feeling of being different pushed Punk to want to stand out in everything he did. Punk's first exposure to wrestling came from watching legends like Bret Hart and Rowdy Roddy Piper. Their larger-than-life personas and the way they told stories in the ring captivated him. Despite being a quiet, introverted child, Punk found himself drawn to wrestling as an escape from the struggles at home. Wrestling became a world where misfits could thrive, and it gave him the opportunity to express himself in ways he couldn't in his everyday life. His childhood experiences and love for rebellion shaped the path that would ultimately lead him to redefine professional wrestling. Growing up, CM Punk didn't fit the typical mold of a student at Lockport Township High School. Academics and sports weren't his main focus. Instead, Punk was more interested in alternative culture, especially music and wrestling. He spent his time exploring these passions, often finding himself at odds with the conventional school system. Punk's school years were marked by his rebellious attitude. He didn't shy away from speaking his mind and challenging authority, whether it was teachers or administrators. This led to him being labeled a troublemaker by some, but for Punk, it was about staying true to himself. He wasn't interested in fitting in. He wanted to stand out and be authentic. A turning point during his school days was when Punk discovered a backyard wrestling group created by his friends. Though the matches were rough and unrefined, they sparked Punk's passion for wrestling. His early skills were basic, but his natural charisma and ability to connect with people were already evident. Punk's love for punk rock also played a major role, as it inspired him to push boundaries, both in music and in wrestling. These experiences shaped his journey, leading him to a career where he would never compromise on being true to himself. CM Punk's wrestling journey began in his late teens with the Lunatic Wrestling Federation, or LWF, a backyard wrestling group he formed with friends. While chaotic and unregulated, this experience ignited his passion for wrestling and pushed him to take the craft seriously. Determined to succeed, Punk trained at the Steel Domain Wrestling School in Chicago, under the mentorship of Ace Steel. He honed his technical and storytelling skills, building a strong foundation for his career. In 1999, Punk made his professional debut in Minnesota at the age of 20. He quickly found a home in IWA Mid-South, where he wrestled top talents like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and AJ Styles, showcasing his ability to excel against a wide range of opponents. After a brief stint in TNA, Punk fully committed to Ring of Honor, or ROH, when TNA restricted its wrestlers from working with ROH. This decision allowed Punk to focus on his craft, cementing his reputation as one of the top independent wrestlers of his era. Teaming up with Colt Cabana, Punk formed the dynamic tag team Second City Saints, which further elevated his status. Alongside his in-ring success, Punk incorporated his straight-edge lifestyle, rejecting drugs and alcohol, into his persona, which became a defining element of his character. By the early 2000s, Punk had established himself as a standout in the independent wrestling scene, earning acclaim for his technical prowess, charisma, and storytelling ability. CM Punk's journey to wrestling stardom began in Ring of Honor, a promotion renowned for its emphasis on pure wrestling and storytelling. He debuted there in 2002 and quickly became a standout thanks to his intense rivalries and compelling character work. His feud with Raven was particularly notable, showcasing his mastery of wrestling psychology and emotional storytelling. A defining aspect of Punk's persona in Ring of Honor was his straight-edge lifestyle, where he proudly abstained from drugs and alcohol. This moral stance became central to his character, often portrayed with an air of superiority that polarized audiences. While some admired his convictions, others despised his condescending approach, making him both relatable and divisive. Punk's in-ring abilities shone brightest during his feud with Samoa Joe, culminating in a legendary trilogy of matches. Their second bout, a one-hour draw, remains one of independent wrestling's most celebrated achievements. These matches cemented Punk's reputation as a top performer, combining technical skill with emotional depth. In 2005, Punk reached new heights with the Summer of Punk storyline. Winning the Ring of Honor World Championship, he teased fans by threatening to leave the promotion while taking the title to WWE. This groundbreaking angle blurred the lines between reality and fiction, captivating the wrestling world and elevating Punk's status as a performer. After losing the Ring of Honor title, Punk transitioned to WWE's developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling. There, he honed his craft further, facing future stars like Kenny Dykstra, Mr. Kennedy, and The Miz. Punk's adaptability and work ethic paid off when he became the Ohio Valley Wrestling World Champion, solidifying his readiness for the WWE main roster. CM Punk's early career in Ring of Honor and Ohio Valley Wrestling showcased his ability to blend technical prowess, storytelling, and a unique character, laying the foundation for his rise as one of wrestling's most compelling figures. By 2006, he debuted on WWE's ECW brand, where his unique character and wrestling abilities quickly gained fans. Punk had an undefeated streak in ECW and won his first WWE Championship in 2007 after beating Johnny Nitro in a tournament final. Though Punk found success, he often felt overlooked by WWE. In 2008, he won his first Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania and used it to claim his first World Heavyweight Championship by defeating Edge. A year later, he won Money in the Bank again and cashed in on Jeff Hardy to win another World Heavyweight Championship. His feud with Hardy, which highlighted the differences between Punk's disciplined lifestyle and Hardy's struggles, became one of his most memorable storylines. As his career progressed, Punk continued to evolve. He formed a group called the Straight Edge Society, where he acted as a leader trying to save people from their bad habits. This phase of his career added depth to his character and gave fans more reasons to either cheer or boo him. During this time, he also had a heated feud with Rey Mysterio, which included a memorable moment where Punk's head was shaved as part of the storyline. In 2010, an injury temporarily took Punk out of the ring, but he showcased his talents as a commentator on WWE's Raw. When he returned to action, he led the Nexus group, trying to revive their momentum, though the group's success was limited. Despite challenges, Punk's charisma kept him in the spotlight. In 2011, Punk's career reached a turning point. Frustrated with how WWE treated him and other talented wrestlers, he voiced his real-life concerns in a promo that became one of wrestling's most famous moments. In what is now called the Pipe Bomb, Punk spoke openly about his frustrations, criticizing WWE's leadership and decisions. This speech connected with fans who felt the same way, making Punk one of the most relatable and popular wrestlers of the time. The Pipe Bomb led to the Summer of Punk storyline, where Punk defeated John Cena to win the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank 2011. In a shocking moment, he left the arena with the championship, leaving fans wondering if he had really left the company. This storyline created a buzz like no other, making Punk the center of WWE's biggest story. Punk's 434-day reign as WWE Champion, starting in late 2011, became one of the longest in modern wrestling history. During this time, he had standout matches with opponents like Daniel Bryan and Chris Jericho. However, behind the scenes, Punk grew frustrated with creative decisions and the physical toll of wrestling. Despite the challenges, Punk's career gave fans unforgettable moments and storylines. His willingness to speak his mind and his ability to connect with audiences set him apart. Punk's journey wasn't just about winning championships, it was about challenging the system, breaking barriers, and proving that staying true to yourself can lead to greatness. During this reign, Punk turned heel and aligned himself with Paul Heyman, showcasing his adaptability and willingness to embrace new challenges. However, frustrations grew as WWE Creative repeatedly sidelined his input. By the time he lost the championship to The Rock at the 2013 Royal Rumble, Punk felt disheartened. The decision to have him lose to a part-time star set the stage for the rematch between The Rock and Cena at WrestleMania 29, leaving Punk sidelined from the main event against The Undertaker. Despite delivering one of the best performances of the night against The Undertaker, Punk's discontent with WWE continued to grow. Years of physical and emotional strain began to take their toll. He wrestled through severe injuries, including a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus, as well as multiple concussions. Punk expressed concerns about WWE's lack of care for his health, yet he continued to perform, often at the expense of his well-being. The tipping point came during his feud with Brock Lesnar in 2013. Punk, once again, was used to elevate a part-time performer rather than being positioned as a central figure in the company. His loss to Lesnar at SummerSlam, while a critically acclaimed match, further signaled WWE's reluctance to invest in him as a long-term top star. By January 2014, Punk's frustrations reached their peak. After entering the Royal Rumble match, he suffered a concussion early on, but continued to compete until his elimination. Backstage, Punk was told he should have main evented the show, but the damage had been done. Tired of broken promises, creative neglect, and poor treatment, Punk decided he had enough. The next day, he walked out of WWE, leaving fans and the wrestling world in shock. CM Punk's departure from WWE in 2014 remains one of the most talked about moments in wrestling history. Known for his rebellious attitude and unmatched mic skills, Punk became a cultural phenomenon during his time with WWE. However, despite his immense popularity and undeniable talent, the journey that led to his exit was marked by frustration, disappointment, and a desire to reclaim his autonomy. Punk's departure was not without controversy. On the day of his wedding to fellow wrestler AJ Lee, he received termination papers from WWE, further straining an already toxic relationship. Despite the bitterness of his exit, Punk chose to embrace life outside professional wrestling, seeking new challenges and personal fulfillment. CM Punk transitioned into mixed martial arts, signing with the UFC in 2014. While his MMA career didn't bring victories, with losses to Mickey Gall and Mike Jackson, it showcased his determination to step out of his comfort zone and prove himself in a new arena. Punk trained extensively and faced harsh criticism, yet his willingness to take risks reflected his uncompromising nature. Outside of combat sports, Punk explored other passions, including writing comic books and acting. He focused on personal growth, reflecting on his time in WWE and the lessons it taught him about self-worth and the importance of standing by one's principles. Though he remained distant from wrestling, his name continued to dominate conversations among fans, with many speculating about a possible return. After nearly 7 years away from professional wrestling, CM Punk made his historic comeback in 2021, joining All Elite Wrestling, or AEW, and reigniting his passion for the sport. This return marked a significant moment in wrestling history, as fans had long speculated about Punk's re-entry into the ring. On August 20th, 2021, during AEW Rampage, The First Dance in his hometown of Chicago, Punk's appearance electrified the audience. The deafening cheers and emotional reactions solidified the moment as one of the most memorable in wrestling's modern era. Punk's decision to join AEW stemmed from the creative freedom the company offered, a stark contrast to his experiences in WWE. Under the leadership of Tony Khan, AEW provided a platform where Punk could perform on his own terms, free from restrictive corporate systems. This environment allowed Punk to focus on his craft, connect with fans, and inspire the next generation of wrestlers. His first match in AEW, a showdown against Darby Allin, proved he still possessed the skills and charisma that made him a wrestling icon. The thrilling encounter demonstrated his ability to adapt and shine even after a lengthy hiatus. Punk didn't stop there, engaging in captivating rivalries that showcased his versatility and storytelling prowess. His feud with Eddie Kingston was raw and intense, while his long-running battle with MJF delivered some of the most talked-about moments in AEW history. Their brutal dog collar match became an instant classic, further cementing Punk's reputation as a top-tier performer. Beyond his rivalries, Punk committed to elevating AEW's younger talent. His willingness to share the spotlight and work with rising stars emphasized his dedication to strengthening the company's future. These efforts resonated with fans and solidified his role as a leader both in and out of the ring. The culmination of Punk's AEW journey came when he defeated Adam Page to capture the AEW World Championship. This victory symbolized his complete resurgence as a wrestling icon. Although a foot injury temporarily sidelined him, Punk's impact on AEW was undeniable. He delivered high-caliber matches, created unforgettable moments, and reinforced the company's reputation as a haven for creativity and innovation in wrestling. CM Punk's return was not just a personal triumph, it was a defining chapter in wrestling history. His journey in AEW demonstrated his enduring passion, exceptional talent, and commitment to leaving a lasting legacy, proving that even after years away, he remained one of the sport's greatest stars. Then, CM Punk made a dramatic return to WWE on January 27, 2024, wrestling his first televised match since 2014 at the Royal Rumble. Entering at number 27, Punk went on to become the runner-up, eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Unfortunately, during the match, Punk suffered a torn right tricep, which forced him to miss WrestleMania XL and caused the cancellation of his planned World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins. After taking a brief hiatus, Punk made his return to WWE on the November 22, 2024 episode of SmackDown. He was revealed as the fifth member of Roman Reigns' team for Survivor Series, War Games. This marked a pivotal moment in Punk's journey back to WWE, as he aligned himself with Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn. The match, held on November 30th, saw Punk and his team take on the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, along with Bronson Reed. The OG Bloodline emerged victorious, thanks in part to Punk's contributions. Punk's return in the War Games match was more than just a storyline twist. It symbolized a redemption arc for the former WWE star. His alignment with Roman Reigns and the rest of the OG Bloodline shocked fans and added new layers to his ongoing narrative. Despite the past tensions between Punk and Reigns, Punk played a key role in securing the team's win, showcasing his experience and in-ring skills. One memorable moment in the match was when Punk delivered a well-timed tsunami through the table, helping to save Roman Reigns and shifting the momentum in favor of the OG Bloodline. The War Games match itself was an intense clash between the OG Bloodline and the New Bloodline, continuing one of WWE's most compelling storylines. Punk's involvement brought added excitement to the event, and his veteran knowledge helped solidify his place back in the company. Additionally, Paul Heyman's unexpected return during the match hinted at new potential rivalries and storylines, possibly involving Reigns or Seth Rollins. Punk's performance in War Games proved that he could adapt, lead, and still be a major force in WWE. Hence, CM Punk's legacy in wrestling is shaped by his defiance and skill. He stood out by challenging authority and breaking the traditional rules of an industry that values structure. His straight-edge lifestyle and sharp mic skills made him authentic and relatable, earning the respect of fans. Whether seen as a rebel or a champion, Punk's impact on wrestling is undeniable, solidifying his place as one of the most unforgettable stars in the sport. That's a wrap on today's video. CM Punk's journey has been full of ups, downs, and unforgettable moments. From his rise to fame to his surprise return, his story has captured the hearts of millions. So, where would you rank him among WWE legends? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more awesome wrestling content. We've got a lot more exciting stories coming your way, so stay tuned.